Hello everyone, welcome back to L.Sandi's Academy. Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic in JavaScript. We're going to be talking about JavaScript methods. So I already wrote them here. I'll just explain. They are very important for you to get because you're going to use them in most of your coding. And also if you want to learn frameworks of JavaScript, they will be there. Every time you're working with objects, you will need to use these methods. So they are important. So in this course, I have taken the ones that are mostly used. You see, I've taken the ones that are mostly used, that you're going to use them more frequently in your projects. So as you can see here, we have an object, with an array of objects. So it has properties name and price. So the price of a bike, we'd say it's 100, TV, 200 Rand, $200, album, it's 10. So we have the names and also the prices. So we'll be working with this object. The first method we're going to be talking about will be that.filter. So just to explain here, we have a function, but it's the ES6 method of doing a function where you have an equals arrow to create a function. So here we have a function, you see, and we call this function filtered items. So that's a way of declaring a function in JavaScript. So what we are saying here is we're saying you filter for us, but what must you filter? Okay, constant, let me start from here. This is a variable which is filtered items. This variable becomes to items. Items is that one, dot filter, items.filter, and we put in what we call an item there. So we're going to be using this item for the filtering. So when you want you to come here, I will say item.price. So I want an item that has a price less or equals to 100. So I want you to give me items over here that has a price which is less or equals to 100. So we expect to have bike, you expect to have album, book, and keyboard because they are less than 100. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's refresh. Okay, as you can see, we got the ones that we expected. We got the ones that are less than or equals to 100. So filter has filtered away all of those that are greater than 100. Hope that's clear. Now, when we go to the second one, a second method, it's the same, but I've called it item names. So what's happening here, I'm using map. Now, what map does, it allows us to manipulate the objects. So in the object, we can come and manipulate this object. We can come and only get the name rather than getting the name and the price. You see, so we're mapping in each object. That's what we are doing here. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to give us the names only. So hence we are saying map for us. Items.map, go to items and map, but we're using this variable called item. There we want us to give us the name only. Hence item.name. If we save that, let's see. Now we get the names only. But we can also get the prices only if we want. So if I say item here, item.price, item.price, there it will give us only the prices. So map is mostly used for this. But if we go back to W3 school, we can see here we have numbers 4, 9, 16, and 25. What we want to do here is to map at each number. Hence here numbers.map. At each number, what we want you to do is give us a square root. You see, for 4 we must have 2, for 9 we must have 3, for 16 we must have 4, for 25 we must have 5. Hence when we come here, we see them 2, 3, 4, 5. So map is that's how I can explain map. It will map at each attribute or each value in the array. Very, very important. Very important. So the third one we're going to talk about will be find. So also here, what we're doing is, okay, we call this found item, item.found. We use the items again. But what we want you to do here is go to items.name is equal to album. So we want you to give us that. We want you to find album. We want you to go find the name album. So when it comes here, it will find the name album. Once you find that name album, please give us that object which has the name album. You see? So let's see what. So if we refresh that, okay, there we have found the name album with the price of 10. So this can be so much beneficiary, you see, to find in our objects. By the way, if you look at filter, let's say for an example, you're using Instagram, and in Instagram you want only the people in your location. So what filter will do, it will take only people in your location and it will filter out people who are not in your location. You see, that's why these methods are so much important. Yeah, if you want to map through the whole array, you map and you manipulate and you do something here. Also find, if you want to find a person, let's say for an instance, you're searching through Facebook, and then on Facebook you search my name Lonwabo. It will go through all of the objects which are created by users, and it will go find Lonwabo and it will take it back to me. Hence, this is very, very important when you're using JavaScript. Let's comment that out. Okay, then here we have for each. Now, for each works as what we call a for loop. It will loop through everything here for all of them. Hence, it says for each. So it will loop through. Oh no, we're not using that. Yeah, it will loop through all the item. Let's see. Okay, what we want you to do is loop through everything, but when you're looping, give us what we call item.name. So we only want item.name. So it will loop through all of them. It won't have an exception. You see, that's what for each is. You can use a for loop, which will give you the same thing, but for each is a good shorthand for a for loop. You see. Very, very important also when you're writing big projects, you cannot have a for loop everywhere because a for loop is kind of long. But if you do for each, it will take each of the items. Because a for loop, you tell it you start here and then you end here. But for each, it will start from where it should start and end where it should end. And then we have one of the trickiest ones, which is reduce. So the aim of reduce, it is to get into a function and then it will return one value. You see, it will reduce all the values to one value. What we're doing here is, okay, we have two parameters. We must have two parameters. This current item, this current total is also this 0 over here. So current total is equals to 0. You must make sure over here that you put in that value, which will be equals to the first parameter. Then the second parameter is the same as the items we have created there, items.reduce, which is equals to the item. So if we say item.price, it will go and take the prices only. Once you say item.price, it will take the prices only. What it will do, it will add it to this current total. It will add it to 0. So this will add up everything until we get the total. So it will end up the 100, 210, 5, 500,000, 25 until we get a particular total. So let's control save that and let's see. So everything has been added. So that's 1,840. You can go and learn more about reduce and research more about it before you use it. And then the last one we're going to talk about today is includes. Very, very important also. Include is also important because, for instance, here we're saying include 2. So we want to check in this array we have there, is there 2 there? And then if there's 2, you will return for us a boolean. It's either a true or a false. You see? So hence here we say includes 2 is equals to my numbers. You cannot say numbers in JavaScript because numbers is for conversion from a string to a number or from anything to a number. So dot includes, we want to say, does my number include 2? You see, let's see the value. That's true. My number includes 2. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 7. We control save that and refresh. Does include 7? False. So there is no 7 there. So those are the most important JavaScript methods. So you must learn all of these to be a good JavaScript developer. It's actually a must. You must learn all of this and then you are good to go. Thank you. Now let's meet on the next video.